movies or TV shows or novels would talk about, that I would indulge in. And I was like, where is this in real life? And I found them in London. I found my dream life. I found the best friends I could ever ask for, the lifestyle. I went on my dream date. He has an accent, beautiful accent. Personal growth was so amazing. This can inspire anyone who's thinking about moving countries and moving abroad. Wherever that is, you need to do it. You need to go. I know this sounds cheesy, but it quite literally changed the trajectory of my life. Right now, to put in place, I am currently in Austin, Texas. I am here for a job. I had a UK visa for a while for my study abroad through my undergrad, and then I applied to a master's program, so got a visa there as well, and then it expired. I was illegal in the UK by a certain date, and then I had to leave town. It was heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, all the emotions. You can actually find all those videos on my YouTube page. So if you want to see me literally having my soul being torn apart and just being broken a million times, having to leave London, like my favorite city in the whole world now, you can go watch it. It's like really entertaining, me sitting there journaling, crying, and saying goodbye to all my friends for, I haven't seen them yet actually since. So saying goodbye until I see them again, which has not happened yet. So technically I vlog as if it's my diary, my virtual video diary. So I can't personally go back and watch those vlogs yet without absolutely bawling my eyes out. So I just haven't done it. I've tried to do it to like reminisce on the past, but I end up voice noting all my British friends, bawling my eyes out to them. So we're not gonna start that today. Today's a great Saturday. I have two ragdoll cats. This is Ruth. Right here. Oh look, she looked right when I said it. Hi! Hi, Lucy. And then Phoebe, my other ragdoll, is underneath the bed, I think. She's been a little nervous with the move. I found my dream life, moving countries, moving out of America to the UK, London. Technically, I studied abroad in my undergrad in London. That was about 3 to 4 months. I loved it and fell in love with the city so much so that while I was there studying abroad, I started applying to master programs in London so that I could stay, get the possible 2-year UK student visa afterwards. So I'm editing the video now, and I forgot to explain how I didn't get the student visa, the GVR, the graduated visa route, which is 2 years after you do the master program in London. You get to stay in London with the visa. So the school I went to falsely advertised that they had that and that they were certified with the government to grant that after their master course, and they weren't. So it was a whole debacle. It was a big mess. I could have signed an NDA to like not talk about it, get some money for it. Didn't sign that, didn't get the money, and have 3+ years in London, right? That was the dream life. It was my dream, and I had it. I found the best friends I could ever ask for, ones that I have literally prayed for over the course of my whole life. I swear to you, I would sit down sometimes, and I didn't have that many friends in high school. I didn't have that great of friends in college, only like a few, like not a lot. And I'm not saying that a lot is like better than a good few, but I just always struggled in friends. I just couldn't find my people that movies or TV shows or novels would talk about, that I would indulge in. And I was like, where is this in real life? You know, where can I find this? So I would sit and I would like cry my little eyes out as a young kid. Please help me find my friends, help me find a group of girls that I just absolutely love, all that stuff. And I found them in London. While I was in London, I felt so not in my element in the best way. I felt like I was in a movie. I don't know if that's from an American mindset and then moving to the other side of the world. You know how you romanticize that, you know? So if like someone from London moved to America, to a city here, they probably would feel the same way, where it's something they haven't had before, and it's like the grass is always greener on the other side is what they say. So I don't know if it was that kind of mindset I was stepping into, but it just was wonderful. It was the best mindset I've ever had in my life, I think. I struggled the most in London in my dream life, but I also have so much heartache from being removed from it. Isn't that funny how I struggled so much because I started Accutane while I was out there in London, and that was not the best journey. But besides that, everything else was wonderful in a movie, in a dream. But with those struggles of really struggling really badly with Accutane while in London, I still, to this day, cry almost every single night because of how much I miss my dream life in London, which I had to give up because, as y'all know, my visa ran out. So yeah, I miss it. I miss it a lot. And now I am so grateful and so thankful for the life I do have now that I'm building in Austin. I just keep comparing it to London, and it's just super unhealthy of me to be doing this, because this is like a new journey, or this is a part of my journey to even get back there possibly one day. But I just can't see it that way, you know, because I had my dream. I had my dream life. I had it all while I was living in London with like my friends, the lifestyle. Me personally, how I was growing, personal growth was so amazing and fun and hard, and like, you know, it really pushed me to my limits. And so that's what I miss as well. I feel really comfortable here in Austin because it's an American city. I don't know if it's like the Americanized thing, like, you know, where I have Trader Joe's here, I have Chick-fil-A, I have all these things, but when I was in London, I really was pushed against my comfort because they don't have those things. I'm not driving around, I'm walking everywhere. That's another thing I truly miss. In Austin, it's not a walking city. If you're going downtown and you're downtown, you can walk around there. But in my apartment right now, I'm like a 10-15 minute drive from downtown, and so you can't, I try to explain this to my British friends and people in London, you can't walk from here to there. America's normally built as a driving city, so there's highways, there's roads everywhere, so it's a little scary for me because with my anxiety sometimes, where I'm like thinking of the worst possible thing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, if a car swerves or something, you know, something happens with the wreck, it's gonna hit you, and you're, yeah. So not comfortable walking everywhere. London's so different, where it's such an old city and the architecture and structure is so old that they prioritize walking and people being able to get around the city without having a car, and so on and so forth. I know this is a little bit more of a comparison of comparing different countries, and I'm not trying to totally stereotype the country as a whole, but this is just how I see it and from my experience. I was really pushed out of my comfort zone when I moved to London, so I think that's kind of what helped with my growth, helped with my mindset of romanticizing everything, because everything was not as what I had growing up, if that makes sense. Going back to my friends, so I want to talk about more of my dearest friends that I had in my dream life over in London. By the way, I'm going to get this dream life back. I will be back in London. I know it in my heart. I know I will be back there because it's just a city I love so much. I'm just trying to find a way to do it right now. Navigating life, I'm trying to navigate the ups and downs and, you know, just everything in between, okay? So I'm trying to make my way back to London. But while we're here in this vlog, I want to talk about how amazing my dream life was. So this can inspire anyone who's thinking about moving countries and moving abroad. Wherever that is, you need to do it. You need to go. I know this sounds cheesy, but it quite literally changed the trajectory of my life. So move abroad. Going back to my friends, I want to talk about how I met them when I was in London. So I moved, when I did my first study abroad, through a program through my undergrad at University of Georgia. Didn't know anyone. It wasn't like I had a friend or family member or whatever go into the program with me. I didn't know anyone. And also, no one from my school, from UGA, was doing the same program. So it was just me from the school. So did that program, met a lot of people there because we were all Americans. We were all Americans going to London, so we all could relate, you know? But when I did my master's and applied to that, it was less so put together. So they didn't have student housing or anything. You had to find your own housing. It wasn't as coordinated and put together as like a study abroad 3-month program. It was more of a, you're living here for a year and studying at a university, people coming from all over the world, including America, but so many different places, you know, you figure it out yourself. So that was a little bit harder about finding friends. But my YouTube, this platform that you are viewing me and watching me on right now, gave me 2 best friends from London, like 2 best friends. Well, technically 3, actually. I'll get into that. So first of all, my good friend, Maya, she found my vlog of me in London reacting to Taylor Swift Midnight's album, decided to follow me on Instagram. I saw that she had a little check mark and I was like, who is following me who has a verified check mark? I went on her page and she's in London, a local. So I messaged her immediately and I was like, I forgot what I said, but I was like, hey, I'm new to London. Like, if you want to ever go get coffee or something and talk, like, I would love to meet you and, you know, make a new friend, whatever. Ever since then, best friends. I love you. I love the Lane family. Met my friend Brooke Hazlett through that. She saw one of my vlogs of me, you know, moving to London, all that stuff. So she messaged me on Instagram. She slid into my DMs on Instagram like I did to Maya. And she was like, hey, like, do you want to grab coffee? I'm actually an American coming from LA. Would you want to go get coffee and, you know, just talk about us being here? Because we were both new to the city from America. So ever since then, best friends. So YouTube brought me that. And then one of my good friends in my master's course, Meg Mackers, not that she saw me and found me on YouTube, not like the other two, but we were in the masters and I think like she came to me, she was like, hey, I watched some of your vlogs, and because she loves vlogs and watches like people on YouTube and stuff like that. She loves the vlogging, and so she said she watched a couple of videos and then like talked to me about them, and so that kind of like was really sweet and nice. And so I just me and Meg's like this. We still send our voice notes, you know, like these little situations started happening in London. So I think that's why I reference London as moving countries as it created my dream life. And now this is a really fun story actually, and I need to tell it more because I don't think people really understand how I met some of my bestest friends there too, my British friends. So Abby May, Zoe McDonald, Brooke Blewett, and Jess Qualter, that whole friend group, my British friends that y'all always saw me with when I was in town and vlogging and all that stuff. I'm not a clubber. I don't like clubbing. The you know, cute dress, like short dress, shows a lot, you know, that kind of clubbing. I honor it and I think it's fun sometimes. I absolutely do, but it's just not for me, right? So my good friend in my first study abroad program, so this is the 3 to 4 month, the one with like all the Americans and we're all in like student dorms and everything, my first time being in London. One of my good friends, Jen, she was like, come clubbing with me, like let's go. She loved clubbing. She was just so vibrant and alive. So I was like, okay, I'll go with you once. So I went with her. It was actually a really incredible night. I met at her apartment. We went together to the club, and we went to this club, I think it's called Taboo in London, where Jen had a promoter. So you go on top of the club, and on the top is a dinner restaurant. They have all the girls that they are, you know, getting to come to the club. They bring out sushi, cocktails. It's a kind of like a wine and dine area that's a little bit relaxing, play some music in the back, but it's not like party hardcore, not yet. So we go upstairs, we have our coats checked in, and then we're sat at this table with 3 other girls. So when we get there, I always get like a little bit hesitant when I'm in clubs because the girls aren't the nicest, I have to be honest. And some are, but like, I don't know, you never make connections in a club. Like that's one of the reasons I feel like I don't like clubs as much, because I feel like I can't make connections with people. I can't like sit and talk about, okay, so like what's a few reasons why you live, and like, you know, asking deep questions. That's just not the place to do it. We get sat next to 3 other girls, and I think from like them telling me, going back on this, I think the first thing I said like to start conversation, I was like, do y'all like Taylor Swift? And so they're Swifties, as y'all know, some of them. That started it. I don't remember saying that, but they said that that's what I said, and they were like, this is so fun. This girl is so cute, whatever. And so we hit it off really well. That was Abby, that was Jess, and that was Brooke. That's the night I met them. Hit it off so well. I literally, like, going back and thinking about it, it is such an invisible string, and we all talk about it. We all share that Taylor Swift song all the time. No, invisible string does not have to be about a boy or a girl or like romantic relationship, you know? Invisible string, that is our song with this whole entire story and situation, because it is just so crazy to think that I didn't want to go clubbing. Also, Abby, Brooke, and Jess, they're not clubbers either. I don't think they've been clubbing since that night, and that was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. No, a year and a half ago, maybe even more than that. So just crazy, the idea that we got sat at the same table. That was also before everyone started kind of doing their own career, so I was still doing YouTube. They were kind of starting YouTube a bit, like as a group, but then a few months later, that's when Brooke and Jess, they started getting a lot more views on TikTok. We were all sitting there also having genuine conversations. It wasn't like fake or just, you know, small talk. I was literally asking them, I was like, so what do y'all do? Like, what do you want to do? And you know, it was just such a great conversation. I totally remember it. And I remember they had like a YouTube that they did in Paris a little bit ago, so they're like, oh, we want to post here, and they always wanted to do social media, but they didn't know how to get into it, but they're dancers, all that stuff. And so Abby also now has a TikTok too, and she's doing amazing on it. Everyone's just kind of, you know, doing their thing now, but like back then it was really sweet to think that we started then, and not really started then, but like I met them then, and then we've already grown a lot together in a way. So that's how I met them. Alongside that, it's just I would romanticize every day. I would go and walk in the mornings to my bar class. I'd go early enough to where I could go to school after and do my master's. And then I just romanticized it so much. I was taking pictures of everything. I was doing Instagram story, Instagram pictures. I was just so inspired in another country. The morning life was great. Like I said, walking around, going to bar class, getting a coffee at Pret a Manger, or I don't know that's how you say it, but this French guy who I went on a date with there, he said that. Like, he was like, yeah, that's Pret a Manger. It means like fast. And like, you know, you can get and go fast, something like that. Not French guy, he was Belgian. That was another thing. I went on my dream date when I was in London as well. I went on a date with this Belgian guy. He went to Oxford. Dream, right? Just like all this written down, it's like the books I read, the TV shows, the movies, you know? We met at Trafalgar Square, and if y'all don't know where that is, it's like a main hub of London where Nelson's Column is in the middle, and then the National Gallery is right there, and then straight down you can see Big Ben. So we met there, talking to him, Big Ben right in my sight while I'm, you know, talking to this really cute guy. Has an accent, beautiful accent. He thinks I have an accent. I do, because he's not used to Americans, all that stuff. So just a dream date. And then he was like, let's go in the National Gallery, it's about to close. So dragging me around in the best way, not like a rude way. Dragging me around the museum, speaking to me in French, and just, it was wonderful. And then we went to a pub after, and it was just like my dream date. Now, we said goodbye. That's it. It kind of didn't work out, which is totally fine. I have the story, I had the experience. I was able to go back home and tell my friends about it. They goggled over it, and they were just so oohs and ahs and like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible. That inspired them to like look for, you know, you don't have to settle. You can have dates like that. You can find experiences like that, you know? So that was the whole point of it, I think. Honestly, hoping for more after that. You know, I'm like, okay, if that can happen, what else can happen? So London inspired me in that way too, like moving countries, finding new experience, new men, all that stuff, that inspired me as well there. And then in it, I felt so romanticized. Like, I know I keep saying that, but I loved my vlogs I was doing there. I loved the art that I was showing, the day-to-day I was showing, even though technically sometimes in the day-to-day it was hard. It was hard to step back and realize it wouldn't last forever, which it didn't last forever, as you guys know, because I'm in Austin, Texas right now, and a wonderful job. But London is where my heart is at. Some of my favorite food is there. I know some people say, well, London does not have that much food to offer, and honestly, I agree with that, because some of the places are just bland. They are. I'm sorry if this hurts anyone's feelings, but it's not the best of food, like a wide range of amazing food. You kind of have to pick and choose for really good places, if that makes sense. London, there are some places I truly love and miss. Dishoom, I miss Dishoom so much. It was one of my favorite restaurants in London. It was actually my last meal I had in London before I left. Get the murg malai, I think is what it's called, the chicken. Get the corn. It has like chili and lime. Oh. Get the basmati rice, yogurt. I forget the name of ratai yogurt. Also, my second favorite is, you guys can say it, Nando's. You guys got it right if you watch my channel. I have amazing, phenomenal, wonderful news. Nando's is coming to Austin. Early of 2024, it is hatching like a chicken. Telling all my friends about it here, I'm like, you guys don't even understand. There is a food place coming that no one really knows about here, because no one knows what Nando's is unless you're maybe on the other side of the world. It's a South Africa chain. It was opened in 1987, and I want to like mention this because I know some of y'all are like, listen, Izzy, that does sound like a dream. You know, how can you actually work and live that life? Because I was studying, right? Taking that into consideration, yes, it was because I didn't have a 9-to-5 is why I got to do all these things and have these amazing experiences and stuff. So that is why my dream and my goal is to not be stuck to a 9-to-5. I want to continuously pursue YouTube. I want to start my own business in a way. I know that starting a business isn't easy work. It's actually longer than a 9-to-5, but at least I get to set my own schedule if I do, no matter what that looks like. And I'll be passionate about it as much. I'm really passionate about my job. I just honestly, it makes me always think like, I could put in that much time and effort into me and my stuff. I can make my own business, I'm a business in a way. I can make that grow. So I'm like trying to figure out how I want to go about that and get that dream life back in London. I'm determined. I am so looking forward to my future in that aspect. I cannot wait to get back to London. I can't wait to move countries again and get my dream life back and just be where I want to be. Please be appreciative and show gratitude for where you are. I struggle with it a lot, and I look ahead and I look to things I want in the future, but just know that that is not going to find you happiness. Happiness is literally in you. There's no more amount of it over there or more or less amount over there. It's you have enough in you already. You just have to activate it with your mindset and with your beliefs. Okay, so I just want to let you know, like, I know I sound like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be happier, I'm gonna be back in my dream when I'm there. I understand the struggles of life and how it's not gonna be actively like, you know, I'm automatically happy when I'm back in London. That's not the case. As I told y'all, I struggled a lot with Accutane, like mental mindset and mental health. I struggled with a lot with that, and so I understand that, but there's a part of me, my soul feels and wants and knows that I will just be a bit happier in London and have things that truly make me love life a little bit more. Okay, that's kind of how I want to say it. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to share my journey because I'm just a little frustrated with where I'm at, or like things aren't looking how I wanted them to look or something like that, but I'm always going to be true and honest with myself through my journal videos that I do on my YouTube channel, but also want to be honest with y'all as my audience. Just know that this is just a part of your journey. You're not stuck here. Seasons change, life changes, right? And we can move. We're not stagnant. We're not too stuck, okay? So love you all so much. Thank you again. Bye.